What is up, guys? Grimlock back here again, finally, after a 2-week long hiatus. I have race changed. IRL, I've had a lot of changes in my life, so that's why I've been away for a little bit, but I promise, guys, the content is coming back quicker than ever. New content will be posted probably every week, if not quicker than every week, probably 2 videos a week like I was doing for a little bit. But I got a lot of stuff to share with you. I do have a new build, and I'll be going over that in this video just slightly, really quick. But I also want to show you guys, a lot of you are asking how you deal with being trained in solo shuffles. So without further ado, here we go. Alright guys, so to show you how this new build kind of operates and how it works, I'm going to get back my Fire Elemental really quick. You can get back Fire Elemental by spamming Earth Shocks into Lava Burst, which is procced from Surge of Power here. You'll see under Lava Burst it says reduces the cooldown of your Fire and Storm Elemental by 6 seconds. So if you need to get your Fire Elemental back fast, you just Earth Shock into a Lava Burst. Almost takes 10 seconds off the timer, which is kind of crazy. It's really good. So, you know, you need to get that back. Earth Shock, Lava Burst, huge. Also, because we're taking Skybreakers now, every single time our Flame Shocks crit, like that crits, reduces the cooldown by another second. So I'm just spreading my Flame Shocks as much as possible, even to pets. I get back my Fire Elementals on average about 50 seconds instead of the full 2 minutes now, which is crazy. But just to show you guys how this build operates, basically what our goal is we're going to get our full Maelstrom. We're going to go out, spread our Flame Shocks around to enemies, you know, the normal, just Flame Shock everything. And with Primordial Wave, we're going to pop our badge into Fire Elemental, Sky Fury, and then as we press Lava Burst, we're also pressing Meteor at the same time. So that means all that damage happens at once, right? We can also Stormkeeper, and you're going to Earth Shock every single time before you Stormkeeper Lightning Bolt. And the reason being is I get way more procs out of my Lightning Bolt by Earth Shocking first. So you'll see under Surge of Power here, Lightning Bolt, your next cast will cause an additional 2 elemental overloads of your Lightning Bolt. So in order to maximize our Stormkeeper's effectiveness, we are going to, you can see in just 2 casts, I did over 400k damage because of how many Lightning Bolts went out. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. But yes, so that's how you maximize your Stormkeeper's damage. You basically just toss out the Stormkeeper, have full Maelstrom, Earth Shock into a Lightning Bolt, Earth Shock into a Lightning Bolt. You could technically, because we play, let's see, this right here, Master of the Elements, if you don't have enough Maelstrom, you can Lava Burst into a Lightning Bolt, and it'll still hit pretty hard because that's a 20% increase to your Lightning Bolt. But realistically, the extra 2 overloads is better than the Lava Burst into Lightning Bolt. And the reason you can't do Lava Burst and Earth Shock into Lightning Bolt is the Earth Shock eats up the Master of the Elements proc. So, just again, guys, to show you how to do some pretty beefy damage here, we're going to line up all of our procs here with Primordial Wave, badge first, into a Fire Elemental. We're going to place down Sky Fury, Stormkeeper. Big damage here. Massive. Look at that. Huge damage. Look at all those numbers, man. We're just hitting like truckloads. I mean, I haven't seen a freaking under 20k hit in like 10 seconds straight. It's unreal the damage that Lightning Bolt does. So realistically, this is probably the best variation of the Elemental Shaman build. This is the best one I could find. If you have any questions about it, I have been using Unleash Shield a lot more, and you'll see that in the solo shuffle game I'm going to show you guys. I use it over static fields sometimes. They're back and forth. It depends on what I'm playing against. But Unleash Shield is incredibly good. I didn't realize how good it is, but basically because we're playing both Earth Shield and Lightning Shield, what happens is your Unleash Shield will knock them away and then instantly root them as they land. So it's both like your Thunderstorm and a root all in one button, one global. Makes life so easy. Just make sure you have both of your shields up when you use it. Because I know sometimes Earth Shield will fall because it only has 9 charges. Make sure you have both your shields up, and you'll be able to kite away from warriors and monks and rogues like ease. Nothing like cake. But without further ado, I'm going to show you guys the solo shuffle game, and I'll break it down for you guys. Alrighty guys, going into this solo shuffle here, you'll see we're fighting against a Mistweaver Monk, a Beast Mastery Hunter, an Enhancement Shaman. We have a Fury Warrior on our team, which is great for us to start with, and me an Elemental Shaman. We also have a Restoration Shaman, but you know, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. Definitely a game where I think I'm going to be trained a lot more than I actually end up getting trained. A lot of the times only this warrior, when he's on the enemy team, starts training me, but I become untouchable, so you'll see that in a second. Have to reload my UI. Normal stuff for me. Don't know why. You'll see early on in this game, I'm going to try to do damage here, but I end up not being able to do much, so I kite away because this Restoration Shaman gets trapped. I just cut away on my mount because I don't want them to do any damage to me. He gets steel trapped, which is a physical root, so he can't dispel it. So I get back into his line of sight. I realize the Enhancement Shaman pops walls, so I swap to the Hunter here. Just start pumping out damage onto the Hunter while he's bursting. I realize I'm taking a little bit of damage. I pop my wall. I try to make sure my Shaman's okay. I'm still in his line of sight. I am. Start pumping a little bit of damage into this Hunter still because I can't line my healer. I put an Earth Shield on my warrior there. So big plays here. You see this Enhancement Shaman gets really low here, and this is when the cocoon happens. You'll see in like 2 seconds, like 1, 2, gets to 16k health, pops cocoon, super lucky. I immediately swap to this Mistweaver on it. You'll see my warrior does in a second too. He realizes the situation, I think. Actually he doesn't, but the Mistweaver stays really low. You can see my Restoration Shaman for some reason pops him with Stormkeeper, and he's super low, so the warrior ends up just charging him. I didn't realize the Mistweaver wrapped back around into my line of sight. The warrior charge executes him, and we win the round. So that actually worked out better for me than needed. We had so much pressure. You can see just based on the damage numbers on the bottom, the warrior and I were just cranking out massive amounts of damage. It's pretty unhealable. It's really hard to deal with, especially Elemental Shaman right now. I just do so much damage. I was telling this hunter that the warrior has like no HP, but I lied. The warrior actually has full HP. I thought he had 270k health, but he doesn't. But you'll see. We still pump out pretty good damage. I play Unleash here. The problem with swapping talents for some reason is you have to like still reapply all your shields after you swap talents. It's a little annoying, but nonetheless, get that done. Swap to Unleash just because this warrior is going to run into me the entire game. I know it. So I just kite here immediately. I try to pull him behind this pillar, and the reason being is that makes him line of sight his healer as much as possible. I notice the static field. I just target it, insta-kill it, swap back to warrior. He fears my healer here. I don't pop Tremor here because I didn't feel like there's a need. I'm like full health anyways. Get my buffs back up, pop big damage here. I have every bit of damage I can possibly have. I go for a full hex here on the Shaman, the Restoration Shaman. The reason being is he had already popped Trinket versus a Hunter Trap earlier in this game, so he's sitting that full hex right now, and I don't think their Enhancement Shaman's playing Remove Curse because there's really not much of a point other than for my hexes, and it feels like almost like a waste. I do so much damage there that he forces Link, Thunderstorm the warrior away. Warrior now wants to go my Hunter instead because he realizes that he's just getting nowhere with me, which is fine. Great grounding totem by the Restoration Shaman. I couldn't wind shear him until I killed it, so that actually saved him a good chunk of health. Big damage to the warrior here. I pop a capstone on the corner just to get the healer into it. Still doing massive amount of damage, making sure I'm in line of sight to my healers. Everything goes well. I get a crit on my Earthshock and hit him for like almost 100k. And that was a pretty good round. But basically, the goal of these rounds is I'm just pumping out a massive amount of damage while being trained. And when the warrior trains me, I pull him line of sight of the healer every time. And the reason being is if he's not getting heals and I'm getting heals, I know for a fact that eventually he has to swap or he has to run away to his healer. A lot of the times this is a problem with healer positioning, but also it's just there's nothing the healer can really do because once the healer comes in from his position that's already a good position, I can just start pumping damage into the healer too and putting a lot of pressure out. So every time the warrior comes at me, I make sure to pull him line of sight. This forces them to swap off of me, and I just keep doing this over and over again until they give up on me. And once they give up on me, I can just sit there and start pumping out damage. This game we fight against basically KFC, which is Fury Warrior, Beastmaster, which is great. But we're playing Enhanced ELE, so this is going to be a rough round, or so you'd think. But we actually kind of pumped this game. I think it's just the amount of damage we're doing. You can see here out the gate. I don't even tell this kid to kill anything. Tell him to kill the warrior. Sorry. So basically, I always go to the left side of this pillar here, and the reason being is this: if this warrior charges me, I can just pull him immediately behind the pillar, and he'll be really far from his shaman. So this is exactly what he does. He pops. I popped trinket super late because I got a little scared there. I'm not gonna lie. Probably didn't need to. I ate this trap for my for the monk. I didn't want him to sit it by accident, like run into it. You'll see here in a second a bit of that technique I was talking about where I thunderstorm into a grab, boom, and it stops his charge from actually hitting me. So he has to fear me. I tremor here because I wasn't sure if it actually hit anybody else but me, but it didn't. So that was a wasted tremor. But it was still scary because I was really low in health. So I just wanted to make sure Mistweaver got out of it. I interrupt this hex here. I didn't want that to happen because there's a lot of pressure going out on us. They swapped to my Mistweaver, which isn't a good choice for them. There's just nothing they can do versus Mistweaver. He's just gonna kite forever. I root the warrior off me. I get rooted, so I kill the earth grab here. Still doing a decent amount of damage, but I'm getting trained really hard. This is a point where I get really scared, so I just sit in ghost wolf form because of the shield wall and just kite. And just keep kiting, and just keep kiting, just keep kiting. I'm like, can I get a heal? Just keep kiting, hope for the best. So there you go. I get back up to about 150k health. I pop out. And at this point, I realize I actually have my burst back up, so these guys are going to start taking mad damage here real quick. Boom, boom, bam. Dude, get the win real quick at the end. Kind of lucky, dude. I dropped to like 100. I dropped to like 10 or 15k health there, which is really sketchy. All right, so let's see here. So we're going back to why my healer wasn't healing me. So he's in a trap right now, completely understandable. He gets into a steel trap. There's no reason why he can't heal me right now. He's just not. I think he got storm bolted too. Yeah, he's storm bolted right here. Got rooted. He's trying to heal me here through this damage, and perfect, he does. Amazing. So I basically just kited out all the CC they had. That was the only thing that I could do. Realistically, what they could have done better is this restoration shaman off of the stormbolt could have hexed the healer, and I would have died there 100%. So that was that round. But basically, this restoration shaman kind of threw that. I did have wind shear for it, so he would have had to really set that up, but still. If he went for it, I probably wouldn't have even noticed because I would have been just sitting in Ghost Wolf and wouldn't have been able to wind shear him, and that would have been it. But we still go Warrior, even though he has a million health. I thought he was lower in health, but I mean, he's still kind of low in health for a Fury Warrior. They should really have like almost 400k health. I think he's like 360 or something like that, 330. He's pretty low in health, but for some reason they put him in my lobby, so I'll take it. I'll take the free low. Basically Turbo Cleave we're fighting against now as some butchered class comp here. They Tiger's Lust off my Frost Shock, and I'm like, why didn't you just dispel it? I don't know, that was weird. I root my Shaman roots the warrior off me, which is perfect. It saves my root. I get flame shocks on everybody here. Biggest damage ever. Force life cocoon immediately. You can see that the Mistweaver is stunned right now. I really wanted to kill the Mistweaver here, but I was stunned, so I was like, whatever, I'll just sit it. Try to fake out kicks, but they're just not kicking me, so I just went for the Stormkeeper cast. I was like, whatever, I'm full health. If they kick me, it's not a big deal. Pop big damage onto Enhancement Shaman. I'm getting a little scared here because I was like getting low in health, so I just sit into this earthen wall here because I was like, this is perfect. I just literally kite back and forth in earthen wall. I don't really step out of it much until I'm full health. So now I root the warrior, keep spamming Frost Shocks and slows. That's all I'm doing, and eventually they're gonna have to swap off me because they realize that I'm literally just not taking any damage. I get another 3 lava burst flame shock out here. Big damage spread across them, which is good. You always want to get that as much as possible. Every time the healer comes into the range, I earth grab them off me, and I just do a massive amount of damage basically. But I've been kiting that whole game, doing mad damage. I'm actually top damage by double, all while being trained that whole game by Turbo Cleave, which is pretty crazy. I got to give it to my healer that game though. He was actually pumping heals. I was I was like barely touched that whole game. There was one point where I got storm bolted and it was kind of scary. But outside of that, not too bad. Going to the next round here. We're fighting against Enhanced Beastmaster, which is actually better than ELE Beastmaster. Enhanced Beastmaster is called Beast Cleave. But we're playing Thunder Cleave basically, so our comp probably beats theirs in general here. Like, we shouldn't lose this no matter what. I didn't toss an Earth Shield, so I actually ended up tossing it late here, but just fine. I plan on sitting kind of like on pillars anyways. I noticed this Hunter opens in a really weird spot. He like opens out in the open, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start pumping this Hunter. So I pop all my cooldowns. I get hexed, so I was like, man, I just wasted all my cooldowns, but I get dispelled, so that was awesome. I ended up trinketing Lightning Lasso because I just wanted to start getting out damage finally. And this this Restoration Shaman's in a really bad position. You can see his health drops to like 10k there. He gets the Spirit Link off. If you didn't get that Spirit Link off, though, he's dead 100%. I swapped to this Enhance for a second while he's Spirit Link, while the Resto is away. I noticed the Resto is dealing with the Enhance a little bit, so I end up just kind of pocketing my Warrior a little bit. Swap back to the Resto. I notice I try to go on the targets my Warrior's going as much as possible. I try to pay attention. Oh, he fakes my kick. Big kick there. I get polyed too, so this is a 3v1 situation that's pretty sucky for my Warrior. He's going to take a lot of damage here. I just decided to go for a Hex into a Cap Stun off the Thunderbolt, which was good, honestly. Let us get a lot of pressure there. This Hunter is just beaming people. I should honestly swap to the Hunter here. It would have been smarter. So you'll see I kind of like pseudo swapped to him, but I didn't even put a Flame Shock on him, so it wasn't a big deal. I was really scared of my Warrior dying here because I know my Monk doesn't have Life Cocoon, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to pump out damage. And it worked out for us. We just ended up killing him before our Warrior died. I was like, I'm just going to pump out as much damage as possible. I have full cooldown, so why not? And that worked out, so that was cool. In the 6th and final round, we fight against the KFC again, but with Mistweaver, and we're playing triple Shaman, which is kind of crazy. Crazy bad, but, you know, it works out. Yeah, I think we kill Warrior, and this Enhance is like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, try to bait him into a really bad position. And the reason being is if you could just get this Warrior to line of sight the Monk for like long enough, the Warrior's just going to die. He's just going to flop, dude. So, and also he can't train me for as long. So, again, we sit on this pillar, go to the corner, try to bait the Warrior to getting into me. If not, that's fine. Put dots up on the Hunter, dots up on the Warrior, pop full cooldowns here. Big damage. I didn't Sky Fury here. I just wanted to save Sky Fury for my my Stormkeeper. Get my Flame Shock up again. So I don't have any Flame Shocks out right now. So I just got a Flame Shock out there. Trying to deal with this Warrior. He's doing every freaking button in the game right now. I end up just kiting, keep kiting. I ended up popping Earth ELE, which sucks because I didn't Meteor as my Fire ELE, but I was just doing it to peel myself. I stunned the Warrior off me for a couple of seconds to let my healer breathe. I'm trying to let him save Spirit Link, so if he needs it for himself, he's good. Seems like he's good, so get over here. I could honestly Thunderstorm here, but I don't because this Ring of Peace throws me way off. Sucks. There you go. I Thunderstorm him back in line of sight. Waste his charge. I do Tremor this for my Enhancement Shaman. I want my Enhancement Shaman to be able to peel me. I have my Badge up again, so I pop Badge in a second. Do big damage to this Hunter as much as possible. Warrior's in a really bad position here, so I just go Warrior, insta-kill him, and that's that. So you just got to pay attention to positioning a lot of the times, and as long as you're paying attention to what they're doing and positioning wise, you can always be doing more damage. The goal is to just consistently be doing damage as ELE. If you're not doing damage and you're just kiting forever, you're kind of starting to lose the game. So really you got to pay attention to your healer's positioning, pay attention to their positioning. It's a lot of a positioning game for ELE. It's not like you could just train something into the dirt like Enhance. You really have to focus on, okay, this Warrior is behind line of sight, not in line of the healer. He won't be able to Life Cocoon him. Let me just do mad damage here in this one global. Stuff like that. Really just focus on doing as much damage as possible and focusing on all that as well. Alright, so getting back into it, guys, just to explain to you how I play again. So say this is a Warrior, the PvP training dummy. I always sit on pillars versus Warriors, and the reason being is if they want to train me, I can always drag them behind the pillar, and you always want to be dragging them behind pillars because then they will be out of line of sight of their healer. The exception to this is if like a Mistweaver Monk is fist weaving or something like that, which makes my job a little harder, but I can punish the healer then, and as long as I'm punishing the healer, I know for a fact I'm just going to be doing a massive amount of pressure, and they'll end up having to swap off of me, which is great. That's what we want in the long run, is just them to swap off of me, and once they swap off of me, we're doing big damn. Anyways, I can get out of crowd control when I'm not being charged the entire game. Basically, your entire goal is to drag them into bad positioning, punish that positioning, and then when they swap off of you, just do a ridiculous amount of damage. And that's the ELE dream, baby. And that's how you get you'll get your elite set, no problem. Just playing like that, I had no problem. I went from like 1400 to 1800 in a single game by accident, which was actually kind of funny. It bugged out too, but that's another video. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video. I'm so used to frost shocking before my lava burst because I was playing flux melting for so long, so it's taking me a little bit to get back into it. I have to play ELE a little more. Also, I literally only played one game this week so far, and it was that game that you guys just watched. I haven't played much in general because I've had a lot of stuff going on in my real life, and I'll explain that in a second. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in 1 second. So as many of you know, I was not able to post the last 2 weeks, and I've had some busy stuff going on in my real life. I promise I'll get back to a consistent posting schedule now. It's a little hard right now because on the 28th of December, my wife finally gave birth to our beautiful daughter. Yeah, my life has been pretty focused around that. I guess you guys can probably understand that, or at least be a little understanding. But I apologize for not making content sooner, and I felt super guilty because I kept seeing people subscribe, and I was like, man, this is awesome, but geez, man, I just want to produce content for these people, but I got to focus on my daughter first, and I had to focus on my wife first and make sure everything's okay there. But I'm sure you guys will be understanding, and I appreciate you guys always. Like always, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions or anything about the build, about how to play in PvP, about Elemental Shaman, about any class. Again, this is my new build. If you have any tweaks, any questions, please feel free to go ahead and toss them in the comments below what you would do different. I think this build is pretty solid though, and this is also played by pretty much like this build's played by a lot of really high-end PvPers right now. It's pretty good. A lot of times they swap for Gust of Wind, which I hate. I hate Gust of Wind. I think Spirit Walk is way better, but you know, who am I? But at the end of the day, play what you guys like. Enjoy the video. Like I said, I'll be making content soon. Please feel free to comment what you think you want to see, because I have no problem making specific content like this one where I go over kind of how to kite in solo shuffle, how to make sure you're winning in solo shuffle, what you should be looking out for. I can make more videos like that. I probably will make more videos like that because I really enjoy solo shuffle. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.